So good morning. It's 8 o'clock, and for 3 years now, we have been meeting every Thursday but Thanksgiving at the intersection with faith, community, and civic leaders at the intersection of faith and society to become a stronger, more informed leadership across the boards and at that intersection, and co-laboring more together, but being more informed as well. So I think that's just smart. It makes us all more efficient, more effective, more in relationship, which of course leads to more compassion. So welcome this morning. We always take a first couple minutes for any announcements, so that it will give as many people as possible to chime in this Zoom this morning. So do we have any announcements? I know for the Christians of Monday week. Francis, did you do something? Nope. One thing I would like to share with you this morning, if there aren't any direct announcements, and you might be still waking up and think, oh my gosh, I should tell people about this, feel free. But I'm going to share the screen on a resource that looks so simple that you might not know it as a resource. And I'll show you. I'm looking for it. I have it queued. But this comes out once a day, and I think just during the week. I could be wrong about that. And Doug or somebody can clarify, because I'm sure that they get it too. Oh, I thought I had it queued up. Hang on. I know I can do this. Here it is. Okay, hang on. This comes once a morning from the Center for Healthcare Services by a colleague. Yes. And in one sense, it's very much like the news we send out from the faith-based initiative, Compassionate San Antonio, that we've kind of gotten back into once a month, and we'll probably be working towards once a week as well. So this comes from Leonard Rodriguez out of, again, the Center for Healthcare Services. But much like the news that we send out, he sends this out. We utilize images that you can click on the images and they will take you to the link. But by and large, it's the same form of setup, the same formatting. So it comes up with basically the information. Now this is across news outlets. I thought this one here was interesting this morning. Bexar County to spend more than 3.9 million on domestic violence prevention. We've talked about that in the past, but it provides the link so that you can go to the actual story, and then it gives a basic summary. And so even just reading through those, you can get a lot of quick information. But then you can also click on one of the links and go in and read the entire article. Now, we also know within media, like all humans, but they might not be exactly 100% accurate. I'm not discounting media by any means, but as humans, when we repeat stories, sometimes they can lose a little bit in translation or be from a certain perspective that might not be our own. But this is all on mental wellness efforts, statistics sometimes, things that are happening in San Antonio. I find it a really good resource, helpful that the center is doing that. If you're interested, I think you could probably take down this email at the top, Leonard's email, and contact him. and get on that list. Again, it comes out every morning. I'm not sure about the weekends. So, but I just wanted to show you all that as a good, valuable resource. Doug, do you refer to that? Anybody else?
No, I'm gonna actually, I'm not getting it, so I'm gonna ask them to send it to me.
This is Martha. I get it, and it's so helpful.
Yep. And wouldn't it be helpful? And so I've kind of put a plug into a couple places and people in town, but wouldn't it be helpful if we had something like that, but around different things? Like somebody, it takes time, right? Somebody's has to put effort into that, right? To go to all those places, those outlets and scan. But say, what if we had one of those on housing development, one on homelessness, food insecurity, domestic violence. You'll notice though in there is lots of connectivity like that, because there was that 3.9 million mentioned by the county for domestic violence. But I think it could be very helpful to the community at large because we have so many ways to get information these days, sort of collecting point. I don't know about you, but I don't have the time to search through all the different medias to read all that I probably need to read in a day and would like to read, just don't have the time. But it's also a good segue into our conversation this morning, our briefing. A couple weeks ago, we were hearing again on domestic violence. We were looking at the news that we send out from the Faith Initiative. And we came upon one of those as domestic violence, and Patricia Castillo from the Peace Initiative informed us that there's been a rise in suicides among children in San Antonio, like ages 8 to 12 in that bracket. We talked about that's the kind of information that almost should bring all of us, no matter what we're working on, to a halt. Why is that happening? What could we do to change that? And one thing that is happening is the Teen Mental Health Survey that's coming out through the city's Youth Commission and the Department of Human Services. So Marlise McKinney is with us today. She is connected to that commission through the department, but also works with our college interns in the summer, the ambassador program. And she's also brought with her Anna, who's one of the members of that youth commission. I'd like to know where Anna goes to school, but I'm going to turn this over to Marlise and Anna now to bring us a briefing on that survey, when it's happening, why it's happening. You all should have gotten an email with a link in it last week, and you'll get it. So Marlise, Anna, it's all yours.
I'm just gonna leave it to Anna. She's the expert on this, and she's gonna be the one who shares with you. But I am available for any questions. I'll put my email in the chat. But Anna, whenever you're ready.
So to answer your question, Anne, I go to ISA. It's the International School of the Americas. And just to talk about the mental health survey, this is our third year doing it. So looking at the results from last year, there was a lot of concerning stuff. So, I mean, 37% of youth, according to what we looked at with our survey, have an inability to perform day-to-day tasks. 49% feel helpless, hopeless, numb, or like nothing matters. And then there's also been an increase based on last year from use of smoking, vaping, or drugs. So it has been more, the struggles are higher in girls compared to boys. But while like there's LGBTQ plus and gender diverse youth reported 20 percentage points higher on average than their non-LGBTQ plus counterparts. So that's definitely something to look at as well. And then our community is definitely still struggling because the 41% of youth rate their mental health as terrible or more bad days than good days. So I think one thing that we want to do this year is just let the San Antonio youth know that they're not alone in this, and that this is a struggle that we as a youth commission and we as a city are working to help and fix. So I think definitely the youth survey, it's super duper important, and just making sure that we get as many responses as possible, because that really, really helps us to gauge what kind of issues are present in our community and also what we can work towards next year.
Great. And so, one, I'm also curious, what grade are you in, Anna?
I'm a junior.
Junior. And I'm wondering how many folks even in this audience this morning are aware that we have a youth commission. And so with those surveys that have, this is the third year, and thank you for that information. That's helpful. What then does the youth commission do with that information besides telling you something? Then what happens within the youth commission? What do you do with that information?
So once the information has been analyzed, we do use it kind of to put out as a resource for people to use. In the past few years, organizations like Clarity Child Guidance Center have used the Teen Mental Health Survey as a kind of piece of information to gauge what they can do. So we kind of take that information and give it as a resource to the public and just kind of like help them to understand what we've gotten from this survey and how they can use that to kind of alter what they're doing to help the community.
Hmm. So do you work just with Clarity? Of course, I think that survey then becomes public information, yes?
Yes, it does.
Uh-huh. And is it posted, do you know, like on the city's website when that comes out?
I'm not sure. I
Marlene?
think so, but
Yeah,
Marla-
we did one pagers that we distributed, and I imagine we'll put it on the dashboard. We also do this in collaboration with Metro Health. So I think they publicize it as well. And we give presentations on the outcomes as well. So if you would like to have us back at a future meeting, once we have that, we would happily share the results from the survey this year as well.
Great.
and
So,
also kind of like city council does take that kind of survey material and make investments to address mental health and well-being. So last year it was 15 million in ARPA dollars to invest in programs aimed at youth mental health.
powerful. And I'm thinking of the 38 people that are in this Zoom right now, you know, hearing from you, Anna, and leading as a younger San Antonian, really gives me a lot of hope. And I think it strengthens all of our work. So thank you for your service in that commission. I'm wondering, with your connecting the dot skills, your critical thinking skills, when you heard me say this morning about the rise in suicides among children in San Antonio, and what you do know from the commission, and with the information from the surveys that you've gotten, does that rise surprise you? Or sadly, does it make sense to you? And
Looking
why?
at what we got on the survey last year, and also Mental Health America did make a post November of 2023 that stated that kind of about 1 in 10 youth are experiencing depression, and then 1 in 9 are experiencing major depression. That statistic, unfortunately, with that information, it's always surprising to hear that it's rising, and it's always sad. But I think definitely it's something that we can work towards eliminating. So that's super important.
So tell us then, it is. Tell us then, I mean, you have on this screen people who work within the community directly, leaders who coordinate projects, And so now you have an opportunity to speak to 38 of those, you know. What would you like to say, and what message would you like to get out into the community? How can we help? What would that look like? What do we need to do? Tell us.
So, I think one thing that can be done is we have our Teens Day essay coming up. It's a really big kind of way that we put ourselves out in the community, the Youth Commission that is, and we kind of share what we've been doing, what we've been working on. We've been really busy for 3 years working on this mental health effort. So that's definitely one way that we kind of get our message out and say that we're here, we're doing this, and we want to let you know about it. But that's going to be at Girls Inc. on the 12th, I believe.
The 6th.
The 6th, my apologies, my apologies.
That's good. Always working twos.
Well,
That's some solid wisdom. Always working twos. So maybe Marlise, you could put that information in chat for everybody.
Yes,
So
we
that
have
would
a
be-
flyer, so I'll share that.
Yeah. That's a week from Saturday off the top of my head. So thank you for that
Yes, it is.
information. So you're inviting people to come to that, hear about that. And
Absolutely.
then what would you encourage us to do in the work that we do, which are varied work, but we all relate to different aspects of the community, different sectors of our city. What do you need us to do besides showing up? How do you want us to lead?
I think it's just super important to just continue to spread that message and continue to say that the youth in San Antonio are struggling, and just working together towards this effort of helping these youth that are struggling is just something that's super important. So just spreading our wings as much as possible and getting help from all sorts of people it's proven to be helpful in the past, and it will be helpful. So I think just continuing to make that resource available and kind of like contribute to what we're doing is always, always important.
Can I add one thing, Anna? Do you mind?
Yeah, of course.
I think something just right now is spreading the information for the survey and getting youth to take it, because the greater number of responses we have, the more weight that has with city council. So last year I think we had over 1,000, and right now we still have a month of the survey open. And I think we're sitting at like 400 responses. So we want to make sure we get that number up, just because when we take it to city council and share it with them, it's a lot easier to get that buy-in when we have a robust number and are presenting really robust data to them. And like Anna already said, it really influenced how money was spent in the last budget cycle, which is also why we end the survey before the budget cycle really kicks off, because we want to be able to present that to city council so that they can really take it into consideration going into budget season. I know I haven't told the Youth Commission this because it just happened, but Councilwoman Terry Castillo has asked to talk to the Youth Commission on their perspective on the budget going into this year. So it definitely can have some really big impacts on how we serve youth in our community. And the more data we have, the better we can serve them. And also the more data we have, the more weight it can carry.
I know that when we started the faith-based initiative, which was in 2017, we did a similar survey. We ran it long, but it was for among 13,000 people. So all of us, Anna and Marlise, the larger that response base is, the larger the pool, the stronger it talks to us, right? So I'm talking to everybody now who's listening. Again, I believe last week you should have received a link and an email from SA Speak Up on this survey. And Sonia has her hand up. She has details. Now I know that just talking for myself, right? I don't fit the age bracket to respond to that survey, but all of us here have connections into places that have people who are in that age bracket. So Sonia, you want to address that, but I also want to encourage Marlise and Sonia to send out that survey again to everybody. When we do surveys in the initiative, we send them out at least 2 times, if not 3, to the same audience so that people will pick up on them and move them. Sonia.
Yes, hi everyone. It's so awesome, amazing to have you, Anna. Wow, just like on the chat, you'll hear from Anna Downey stating, Anna, thank you for sharing. Your leadership, professionalism, and presentation skills are amazing. Continue to advocate, very inspirational. You are a rock star. You are. I was very excited for this presentation. And Marlise, thank you again for doing this with us. So Marlise did share the survey link in the chat, as well as her contact information. Doug Beach, he did reach out on chat also asking for your contact information, Anna. So Anna did put that in there. Doug is with NAMI, so this is a great partnership, I believe, that could lead to who knows where, how far we could lead with this. Thank you, Marlise, for sharing the Teens Day flyer as well at that's going to be April 6th from 10 to 2 p.m. at Grills Inc. It says teens can join. I have a 13-year-old, so I will be bringing him out there. And also the age. Martha Kirk, Sister Martha is asking about what's the age range, right? Because she does have university students. I see it's 12 to 19. So even though we're not in that age group, we do have family members, we have friends who have children that age, we have our own children. So please share it broadly, everyone, the survey. You will receive another news from us, from DHS, with that survey. But Jackie Pogue is asking maybe, well, she shared in the chat a summary of the first survey. I haven't been able to look at it, but I just saw that in there right now. And then that contact information that Anne was sharing with the Center for Health Services that have the have those links, those news links. I shared LB Rodriguez's email in the chat as well if you guys wanted to reach out for that. But this is such an amazing initiative. I've been hearing in our collaboratives about the youth, about the mental health status of our youth, and the need for resources. So this was our one of our chances to get it out there. So thank you again, Anna, for doing this. So I just wanted to make a few of those announcements.
So a couple things. We're going to open this up for more comments and questions now. There's Doug. You know what he's going to ask you, Anna? He's going to say, are you available August 23rd and 24th? Do I have the dates right, Doug? I'm lobbing it to you.
Yeah, the dates are right, but what and I had a question, and now I forgot it. I'll ask. Oh, what I was going to say is Bridges to Care, which we sponsor at NAMI, Bridges to Care has a new youth track with programs for youth and for parents and youth leaders. So I'll try to make that known to Anna and Marlis and other people that are working with youth.
Yeah, in fact, Doug, just like, great, because we've been working on in our office connecting Nuria and that youth track with the Youth Commission and having all the youth commissioners go through that mental health training that NAMI and Bridges offers. So everybody just saw the birth of a collaborative, right? That's what's happening right in front of our eyes. Questions, comments? I've got lots, and I'll just keep going unless others jump in like Doug.
I have a question for Anna, if that's okay.
Sure thing.
Hi, Anna. This is Joseph. The work you're doing is awesome, inspiring. very impactful. I'm a social worker, and I know from experience, and we really focus in our field on making sure we don't burn out when we're working with heavy stuff, because I think that survey and the implications of the hard stuff that your peers are going through, that can also weigh on you. That can take energy away. So I want to encourage and maybe ask, where is the hope for you? What gives energy back to you? How do you find balance and take care of you as you do this stuff? Because I don't want you burning out.
Yeah, so it definitely is difficult to see just how much of a struggle there is in the community. And for me, I know also I have had some of that struggle as well. So definitely what inspires me is just knowing that if we can get like these resources and like kind of opportunities for teens who are struggling, then they'll be able to have the same successes that I do. Because when I was struggling and I had those resources available to me, they were definitely really, really life-changing. So I think that's definitely one of the things that keeps me going. Another thing is just seeing that like each year we do get more responses. So last year we had more responses than we did the first year. So that just goes to show that more people are seeing this. And then also with the turnout at last year's Teens Day SA, it was all just super inspiring and showing that the community is there with us and they're willing to get involved. That was just super empowering.
Anna, tell us a
None of that
little bit.
inspiration and keep
Oh,
taking care
sorry,
of you.
Joseph.
That was all. Just keep taking care of you. Thanks.
So Joseph, right? Always taking care. Tell us a little bit about the makeup of the Youth Commission. How many members are on it? Have you been on it all 3 years? How long have you been on it? Tell us a
Yeah,
little bit
so
about that.
I've been on the Youth Commission since February of 2021. So I've been on it for about 3 years now. And you know, it's a makeup of a bunch of really, really, really smart people. So we've got two representatives from each district, or ideally we would. I think we have two vacancies right now. I know for sure one is in District 5. Sorry,
D5
Marlene.
and D2, I think,
Yeah.
both have a vacancy. So if you have teens in your lives who are in high school and want to serve on the youth commission, we do currently have those two vacancies.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
ideally we'd have 22 members. Right now we have 20. So it's a really good makeup of students from different schools too. So it's just a really great opportunity. I know I would found out about it through my mom, but when I applied and first got on the youth commission, it was so great to see students like myself who really wanted to make a difference civically.
So we're going to take a brief pause. And I'm guessing that you're taking a moment out of your school day to be with us.
Yes, I am.
Wow. And your school supports that.
Yes, they do. They do.
That's great. That's great. Are you able to stay with us just a little bit longer?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to take a brief pause. And Zita, I see your hand up, but it's 8:28. And we kind of make this commitment to those who attend the at the intersection that we meet and get the meat of our briefing between 8 and 8:30, which we've done. So thank you, Anna, for that. But we're going to continue that conversation with anyone out there who wants to stay, and we will definitely close the Zoom at 8:45. Next week, we're going to be hearing from the HEB Foundation on one of their efforts in collaboration. It's called the Congregational Collective. So we're going to be hearing about that and how that works. The following week, we're going to be hearing from a social impact studio within one of our San Antonio architectural firms, West East Design. But they are developing housing, helping to develop housing, the space, the how it's set up in a recovery model. And they've been partnering with IKEA, and IKEA is going to be setting up in the very near future, in the next couple of weeks, a model of that. What would a recovery-oriented space, living space look like? And so we'll be hearing about that the following week. I think that's the 11th. So once again, if you need to leave, have a great day. And now I put up the flyer for a little bit, and this will be sent out to everyone. I also know that Girls Inc., so this is a really great sidebar. Their new offices are in a congregational setting. They've refit a space. Yeah, so we've got this connectivity with congregations who are now looking, some are doing, creating housing or spaces for other green spaces. And now we're going to see another example at Girls Inc. and a refit, reimagined, remissioned space, and it's on Bassey Road. So you can all even pull up that QR code off this screen. And so that's another way to just jump right in. So I'm going to stop sharing and we're going to go back to our group. We did have somebody who had their hand up, but has since put it down. We have some new messages. Zita, your turn. Go.
Good morning, and
Morning.
thank you so much. It's my first meeting, and this has been very powerful. I do have a question for Anna as well. My question is, I'm representing Metro Health Healthy Starts Healthy Families Network Coalition on this morning, and one of our work groups is actually working on messaging to provide resources for youth. What is the best way to disseminate that information? Should we look towards events such as Teens Day? Should we look towards social media? How can we get that to youth to support our youth?
So I would definitely say using social media and events are two ways. I think for events, what we've seen is kind of like seeing parents show up and then they in turn tell their youth. With social media, you can like directly target youth through the use of hashtags and stuff like that. So I think social media is always a super helpful resource in getting that message out to youth.
And where you use social media, because we've also
Thank you.
found in promoting the program, if we promote on Facebook, that's parents, but they will tell their kids. But if you are able to promote on other venues, avenues, the city can't use TikTok, but if you're not working for the city, maybe explore TikTok.
Mhm.
Thank you for that. Other comments, questions, thoughts? I'm really excited too about like the connections that are being made. So Anna, just even looking at the flyer and where Girls Inc. is, now you've also become aware of and connected of these other efforts that are happening to take like congregational settings and refit them. There's another one that's building, and they're creating space for young men who are transitioning out of foster care. So we've got these different efforts that provide more wraparound, from housing to learning to transitioning. And that would be powerful too, to have somebody who is transitioning right out of foster care in a district that could be in the commission. That would be, do you have anybody like that? That would be really, I think, fascinating to have somebody like that on the commission. We could work on that together. What were the
Yeah.
districts in Marlise that need representation in the commission? Districts?
District 5, and let me confirm really quickly on the website.
They do that.
And while you're here and talking about former foster youth, the ambassador program is the program that I run. It is for college students, but we have a pilot program specifically to encourage former foster youth to apply. So we have 16 participants going into this summer. or 26 who are former foster youth that we are supporting and trying to continue to grow that program. So that's also something you can share out for anyone who is working with foster youth, former foster youth. The ambassador program has a specific program or section of our program to support former foster youth. The districts, yes, I did confirm we were right the first time, D2 and D5. So District 2 and District 5 both have one vacancy.
Because the building project that's happening for transitioning young men is in District 2. So I see that Patty has her hand up. Go Patty.
Good morning. Anna, thank you for your response regarding my question in the chat about whether or not the Youth Commission was addressing issues of teen dating or relationship violence. I ask because on the Collaborative Commission on Domestic Violence, we do have a area that we want to get into looking at how teen dating violence is affecting our youth in the community. And in fact, we're meeting with some folks from Austin to consult with them about their efforts going on in Austin. They have a huge youth commission that is working on specifically teen dating and relationship violence. And so we're consulting with them. The other person on our committee is Judge Raul Perales, and he has one of the courts here in Bexar County that addresses issues of child abuse and domestic violence and that link, right? And I think we need to make those kind of linkages so that we can, address them with the youth in our community. It's not very easy for us to get into the public schools and the charter schools with this issue because of the whole parental permission thing, but yet we know that there are young people out there struggling, and dealing with this type of violence and abuse in their personal lives. And so that's one area that I wanted you to know that we want to open up. We want to get with young people to address this issue. There are curriculums, there's all kinds of work that can happen with this. And then the other thing is that we need to find out, like in these situations of suicide, what is the linkage to family violence or relationship violence that is affecting our young people to the point where, it comes to that, right? Where young, you know what I'm saying? We need to look at that and see, where are we dropping the ball, So that's my comment and my question. Thank you, Anna.
So going off of that, I think it's definitely something that I will pass on. I'm on the subcommittee for teen mental health and well-being. So I think definitely that's something we can look at taking up and look at working on, because that is, again, a super important issue. So thank you for letting me know about that.
Okay, great.
Quick question, Patty, and I see Beverly hand is up, but is there young members in the Domestic Violence Prevention Task Force that's with the county and city?
That I'm aware of attending, I'm not aware of. We meet once a month at noon on the third Thursdays. And that I'm aware of, no. I know we do have school representation, like from elementary school, like social workers that work in schools. I do know we have that, but as far as actual young people under the age of 18, I'm not aware of that.
Maybe that would be something that the Youth Commission could help with, getting some young members in that task force with the city and county.
Yes.
So maybe you can connect with maybe Marlise, move that forward into the commission. So Beverly, I've missed you. I'm so glad you're here. I'm handing it to you.
Thank you so very much. And I have missed you all. I have not been well. So I just, I'm battling whatever virus or something that's out there that has completely, my doctor maybe just promised to go to sleep. I just needed to actually get some sleep to try to fight this. But my question is, I'm so glad to see you all. But I wanted to ask Ms. Hurd and some of the other people who have spoken. This summer, when we've been doing this now, this will be our 4th year. This summer, we have, at least at Ella Austin Community Center, we put together a youth program. And Ms. Hurd, you can help me with this, because what we have found in the summertime, also, Pat, that we're seeing some of the highest rates go up for our young people with regard to just getting in trouble. I mean, because
Yeah.
they're out of school, and many of the young people that we're dealing with on the east, west, or south sides don't have, parents are not able to pay for a summer program of some kind. So we've been really trying to tackle this on a global sense, and I know, and we're looking forward to working with you all on this youth coalition. But during the summer, there's a lot of unsupervised, unstructured time the young people have. At least on the east side, we have found that is the prime time for young people to be recruited into both criminal and gang activity, or certainly be bullied or threatened with that. Is there? I'm wanting to help support an effort in our city for constructive time during the summer. That's more than a day, or but really will last for at least 6 solid weeks before our young people go back to school. Is anybody working on something like that? I love to hear what the youth commission has had. In fact, one of the young persons who worked this is actually that this idea actually came from them. So we've been very successful, and literally we do a field trip every week. It's amazing how many young people have never been to Natural Bridge Caverns, have never been to the Capitol, have never been to SeaWorld or any of these other places. So can anyone help with that, as we're doing it again this weekend? And again, some of you all will be fabulous speakers, as you might make a round robin to organizations in the East, the South, and the West, to really try to work with children, or at least present information to them. But is there anything that you know of, Ms. Hurd, or anybody else on the call?
Yeah, so I do know one specific organization that came to visit the Youth Commission at not this past meeting, but the previous one. It was an organization called Code Equity, and they were looking at creating coding summer camps for homeless youth and youth in San Antonio overall. So that's definitely something. I know they have my contact information, so kind of looking for getting involved with them is something that I've been exploring. But I know that they're specifically looking at coding camp opportunities during the summertime.
Wonderful. We'll provide it. We'll even help fund it. But it's called Co-Equity. Are they a new nonprofit?
It's Code Equity. They are a nonprofit. I believe, Marlis, do you have their contact information?
I absolutely do have it somewhere in my emails. I will find it.
Thank you.
This is exciting. I love collaborative work. I just love how things connect.
Thank you, Ann,
Beverly,
for
do you
doing
have
this.
more? Yeah, you're good. Because it's 8:44, and Nuria with NAMI Bridges to Care, another important connection here, has something to say, and this will be our last.
Yes, just wanted to make sure to pop in. I put a message in the chat, but to answer your question, we are actually being proactive this year for our youth track. And so we're going to collaborate with a variety of organizations. If there's something specific on the east side that you'd like for us to set up, we can do that. But the goal is to get youth certified in the youth track within a week, because it's only 5 sessions, or at the end of a summer program. So for example, there's one that we're collaborating with that will do 1 a week, and they'll be certified in mental health topics by the time they go back to school. So just wanted to put that out there. Happy to connect with you. Miss Beverly, and we could talk more about the East Side specifically.
Very good. Could you put your
And-
email in the chat and I'll contact you quickly?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And Noria and Marlise, at least, in terms of connecting the youth track too of mental health training, which you've spoken of, but for the commission itself. So how to maybe schedule that. So now we've got some cross-pollinizing here, and I know that the executive director of the department I serve, Mel Woolsey, she really would like to see that kind of training happen within the youth commission. It's no cost, and they can also become those champions of ambassadors. So it's 8:45, and Anna, please thank your school for their support of you. And I'm thanking you on behalf of all of us here for spending your time, not just with us today, but in commitment to compassion in our city. And I know it's a commitment. You meet once a month and you've been doing that for a while. So thank you for that and what you invest of your life for all of us here in San Antonio. And thank you, Marlise, for helping to make this happen and to be one of those supportive entities. It's a beautiful day outside. I hope you take
so
at
much
least
for
one
having me.
moment to enjoy it. And you all have blessed weekends, beautiful weekends. And I will see you again next week at the intersection.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.